Hi Virgo, happy February. Ooh, this reading is so good. Okay, I think that I know you're probably, because I feel the undertones of this, there's something that I don't feel this is something new. I think it's either an old habit, something that has been brewing for a long time, something that is past the expiration date that needs to go, right? It's either how a current relationship has been needs to change or needs to dissipate, right? I think you're branching out. I think you're in a position where you're coming into a position of a massive amount of power, authority, and I'm not talking pretentious BS when I say that. I'm talking about you're taking control of your life, right? You're putting the authority back in. I need to maybe take more of a leadership role. I need to get back in the driver's seat of my life. I need to stop doing everything for everyone else and kind of, balance things out, or vice versa. Or maybe you've been too overbearing on other people or too headstrong or pushing things. Either way, there's a balancing of the scales here, right? And I think it's really great. I can only hit this from one direction, and I'm going to hit it from the positive. I'm going to hit it from pushing you out of the nest here, because I can feel the apprehension, but I think that great potential lies here. I think new relationships, current relationships get bumped up. Anything that you've got here that isn't working for you, you need to let it go, because there's new things here that are coming in for you. But I feel that the things that are dissipating, they're not new things. They're most likely habits that we've picked up along the way, fears that we've sold ourselves that kind of makes it okay to not jump outside of the nest, right? I'll hide myself under the umbrella of this, because then it's safe in here until the day that it becomes not safe in there, right? And by that I mean every bird needs to fly. So we're jumping out of the nest here, okay? So we come in with the High Priestess, and I'm going to tell you, you already know this. I feel great opportunities lie here for you, okay? And you know this. This could be something, too, where your intuition is screaming at you, where you can't not pay attention to it anymore, or you're going into something in the healing arts, right? It could be something in reference to that, too, okay? You've got the Five of Wands and the Three of Wands. So these are your energies coming in. Okay? Great energies coming in. I'm going to say to you here, go for it. Don't let apprehension. I think that in here, it's like, I've got to get the hell out of here. It's way too crowded in here. And with the Three of Wands, there's a great return for this in here. If this is business, it's something that really pays off. If you've been sitting on something, now's the time to get it out there. Market your whatever it is here. For some of you, you're in relationships that are dead in the water. For others of you, you have got to deal with some things, I would suggest, within yourself. Take responsibility for your own demons, basically, is what I'm saying to that. If your approaches to things, if you're selling yourself bad bills of goods, I'm going to say to that, either capping out under the umbrella of I'm terrified, so I'll make this okay, or, and that goes for anything across the board. I think for some of you, you're coming into new relationships. I think you're having new dialogues with family members, friends. Your life is coming into alignment, because I think you may have seen maybe how you need to maybe shift some things in your life, right? We all go through those periods where, like, my value system has changed. This is no longer a major priority for me. I'd rather do this. Or engaging with people in different ways, conversing in different ways, communicating in different ways, showing up in different ways, agreeing to disagree on certain things, not making things so controlled. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like when someone buys a brand new couch but they cover it in plastic, right? We all have those family members. It's for show only. It's the $5,000 couch that will never see an ass print. That's kind of what we want to sit on the furniture now. We want to enjoy life. We want to, be open to other people's perspectives, take in other things. We might in a nugget somewhere find something that we can actually use. I think that now you're realizing where, and we all do. Maybe I closed myself off here. Maybe I, hid under the umbrella of, oh no, I can't leave, I've got to stay because this person or this place or this thing would be, they couldn't function without me. Now maybe you realize that that was really just a cover for you being afraid to step off the ledge. You've got massive success sitting here, and that comes in the form of whatever that means to you, right? Success is not always financial gain. They're not mutually exclusive, right? I would suggest you've got things here that you would be good at, maybe that you put on the back burner for a little bit. Pull those out of the closet, okay? Now, those were your energies coming in here, okay? So the High Priestess is like, it's in here. I have to do this. I know I have to do this, all right? It's also about secrets, right? Like the secrets, though, that I know I can do this. I know this is my calling. I know this is what I should be doing. But yet you don't. With the Five of Swords, you beat the crap out of yourself in here, whether you want to do it or not, right? And again, that's where we entangle ourselves in the low vibration things that end up, that's what karma is. Karma is not an eye for an eye, right? It's not a tooth for a tooth. That's the natural order of things. We'll deal with that, right? I'm talking about karma as far as in the things that we repeatedly do over and over and over that we're numb to. You know, the stories we tell ourselves to not have to jump out of the nest, the things that we try to make okay when we know they're not okay. It's the fears that I'm not good enough. What if they hate me? What if I'm not a success? What if this fails? What if I blow through all this money? What if I invest my savings account in this and the business fails? Or these are all the things. But if we continually keep packing that crap down there, we're circling lifetime after lifetime after lifetime of never getting out of the gate. You know what I mean? So with a constructive plan, an objective, and a well thought out step-by-step plan, you're not gonna fail. And if the business itself or the relationship itself doesn't work out, that doesn't mean you failed. It means I lived my life. You know what I mean? If you're afraid to fail, you're not living your life. It's already telling you you're not stepping outside of the nest. So you may not fail in your mind, but you're not living either. You know what I mean? So I'm being a little harsh because I want to push out of the nest here. I assure you there's footing down here. And I'll show you where the foundation is because that's how I'm coming at these readings. It's a time where we're now, how do I say this? It's an energy of being more, looking at things in your life, in general, in a kinder perspective. You know what I mean? Like it's okay that I did this, I didn't do this before, I did this before, but now I want to do this now. It's kind of like a space where I maybe don't want to work so hard. I maybe want to invest more in my family home. I maybe want to, sell a house. I maybe want to now rent. I maybe want to travel a lot. I may want to, how you're doing things, your value systems, your bird's eye view on things. The release of the control, not needing everything to be nice and tidy. You know what I mean? Leaving a dish in the sink overnight and not having to get up in the middle of the night to have to wash it. You know what I mean? Like things like that. I think you're loosening the reins a little bit. Okay, and that's what I feel is going on here. So I think though that you're divided. You know what I mean? Like you're pulled in different directions. Like you feel like you can't diversify, and that is what the plethora of this reading is. It's okay to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You know what I mean? It doesn't need to be all or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And that cuts you some slack. Plus, I think that relationships of all kinds in your life are being restructured. You know what I mean? I think the ones that maybe you've been, that haven't been working, you may have to get real with yourself about those things, right? Others of you, you're going to have like an honest conversation and that makes them better, right? Others of you have new dynamics coming in, new relationships coming in, new approaches to things. Maybe I have needed a relationship before, but now I don't, I want one. You know what I mean? Very, very different dynamics there. So your foundation is what we're laying here, right? And it's brick by brick. It's not overnight, and we're going to leave a little mortar room here for the settling, right? That's what we're going to do here. And then we're going to see what bricks we're laying, where we're at, what we're doing now to get this to come to form, and then what our objective focus is. But we can tweak this. It's not written in stone, okay? So our foundation, we've got the Queen of Cups, okay? Maybe you're changing up the aesthetics in your home. Maybe you're going from a whole different way of doing things. You know what I mean? Like maybe you want a different look, or you want a different whatever, right? It can be that. But then we've got the Eight of Wands, which is a success card, but it's a card too that is in divine timing. And sitting next to this card, you've got the Judgment card here too, right? Which is kind of saying, no matter what you do, birdie, when I push you out of the nest, you will land on your feet. You will. It might just not look like, oh, but I really like this. I never thought I could do this, but I really like it, And you've got the Hanging Man, which is saying, you know what, I may need to make a sacrifice for this. I may need to look at something a little bit different here. Okay, let me get through the cards and I will show you what the main deal is. You've got the Two of Swords. And this is what I feel like. I want to do this. I want to try this, but it's like I feel like I'm either turning my back to something I really want to do, or I don't have my priorities in order. I'm going to try to suppress it and push it down so that I can sell myself something and pretend that it's okay, right? It all pops up at some point. And we've got the Five of Swords here, which is saying diversify. I'm going to diversify here. I'm going to go in different directions. I'm going to learn something new. I'm going to try something, taste something, plant something. I'm going to change my aesthetics. See how beautiful that is? See? Look at it this way. If you jump out of the nest, you're landing in a nice flower bush, right? So nothing negative will happen here. And then we've got the Moon card. This is usually fear, uncertainty. Well, I don't know. This is where we tell ourselves the story and the plane takes off and we're not in it, and we'll stick to like the picture we've had on our fridge for 5 years, but we won't get in the plane because we're just not sure, Get in the plane, get out of the nest, go try the thing, because your outcome card here is the Six of Coins. It's success. It's happiness. It's a whole person. If you look at this, you already know this. I know you already know this. Look at the moons. They make a full moon. New beginnings, new horizons, new things, new breaths of fresh air. Those kind of things, right? You know what? I'm going to try this. I'm going to go and try this. I assure you, when we deal with the demons here of the woulda, coulda, shouldas, the fears, the well, what ifs, we realize that we're resilient. Put it this way, there's not going to be just one thing that you're going to do in life, right? As soon as we get that thing, we change it to something else. So it doesn't really matter how solid the thing is. It's that we did it. It's that we tried it. We experimented in it. We grow more. We have more under our belt. You know what I'm saying? I get a lot of relationship reads that I do when there's a age difference or something in that regard, and the older person will usually say to me, but for some reason, I don't know why age sometimes is there is nothing more attractive than someone who is settled, someone who is confident, someone who has a solid story to tell, someone that has engaged in life. That will mesmerize someone, and that makes someone want to be with someone. You know what I mean? It has your aesthetics and this and that can hold someone's attention for 5 seconds, a week if that. But after that, the person that's not settled is wondering, okay, now how do I corral this person? Because I know if I don't lock them down or trap them somehow, they're going to get away, right? But someone who's settled in themselves is just there because they're not choking the bird. They're just, come, let's have a conversation. Let's have a relationship. Let's have a dialogue. Let's go here. Let's try this, those kind of things. They engage wherever they are. They fit in. They can wear many hats. You know what I mean? And one thing about the Five of Wands, you can relate to anyone, and anyone can relate to you. The negative side of these two cards, the Five and the Eight of Wands, is the worry and the doubt and the aggression and the pushing and the holding and the trapping and the releasing and the not knowing whether I'm coming or going. Those are the things that And in this, it can be strong-holding, you know, people in relationships, being very strong-willed, or pushing things on other people, or letting people push things onto you. It's sometimes this can be a very codependent relationship, right? It can be something that's very controlling, or argumentative, or one way, or not balanced, right? But we know these things. These two cards can be very, very codependent cards. They can be, right? But when balanced out, when honest with yourself, when dealing with your demons, a lot of the secret in this card is I don't like to be alone. That's what this is. This is a card of someone who can become, both these people can be very, very jealous in relationships, very not on solid footing. That we all have a shadow side. We do, guys, whether you believe it or not. Certain things push our buttons, but that certain thing that pushes our buttons makes us grow, right? So if we realize that this is something, we just gain more footing in it. You know what I mean? But what's happening here, I think that there could be even past lives where you've jumped between trying to appease your family and really wanting to expand on your spiritual. This right here would be someone that would, you know, maybe want to go explore spiritual things, anything, healers, sages, gurus, shamans, anything in the metaphysics that you want to do. That would be wanting to explore something like that. Say you're in a corporate job and you want to switch to something like this. I assure you, I really feel that there's something that holds you here. It's something, a creative, something that you've just got innate interest in, and it may be something that you've done as a hobby. Now you want to explore it as a career. Financial gain sits in here. Strong, it fits in here. I don't see it so much in the cards, except maybe in here. Well, this is a card of success as well. Because you're a whole person, you're balanced. You don't need something. You want it, and you go explore it, and there's a big difference there. But I feel it in this reading. I feel that if you allow yourself the freedom to roam, you're going to find exactly what you're looking for. And I think that it comes in the form of new relationships, people that help you, alliances, people that have the same interests as you, people that, you know, want to go to, say, maybe the same retreat, or learn the same thing, or go to the same school, or take the same class, or have the same interests. And it can come in the form of a relationship of all kinds. Family dynamics, expanding your family, changing families, moving. It can be things like that too, but whatever it is, your outcome here, after you've built your foundation and let the house settle and put your bricks in brick by brick, you are a whole person. You know what I mean? You've got a balance of energy here, and you love what you're doing. You love what you're doing. So, go try this. Release old patterns. Stop selling yourself bad bills of goods. If you're still after this, and you've got the Three of Wands says, my ships are coming in, man, and they're going to come in with full cargo, and I can't even see it yet because I'm too busy trying to sell myself why I can't do it. This Ace of Wands is raw firepower. When I ask you guys what fills and inflames you, that is what I'm asking you, because that you can't suppress. You can try to ignore it, but it's not going to go away. It's gonna keep coming back and coming back and coming back, right? So go explore, go find what lights you on fire. You will be absolutely successful. Trust your intuition. Get a good plan in place. If you've got to save a little bit for something, save a little bit for something. If you've got to take a class or go back to school for something, go back to school for something. I just told one of the other signs before too. Don't not do something because you're impatient about something taking a certain amount of time. If you've got to take, say, something that gives you this ticket to ride here, and you've got to update your skill set and it takes a year, make that sacrifice. That could be what it is too. Maybe you have to make a sacrifice for something while everyone else is doing this. You're going to focus on, you know, updating your skill set, learning something, get credentialed in something, get certified in something, because that will give you an opportunity. A year will come and go. If you're selling yourself this and you've got yourself in this bind, invest in this for the year. I'm just using this as an example because when the year comes, when 2020 comes, and you don't jump on this, it will be a year later, and I assure you, you will be kicking yourself in the ass more than this, and you'll wish that that couch was covered in plastic because your ass will be plopped there. I'm being tough on you because I see what sits here, and I also know how you guys get to the front door and you're like, no, and you go back in the house. Don't do that. Don't do that. The fire won't go out. It won't. It'll be staring you in the face forever, only you'll try to pretend it's not there. Go explore it. Life is short. You have absolutely nothing to lose. There's a difference between someone who's a thrill seeker and someone who jumps on life, opportunities, going, tasting, smelling, traveling, right? We should have an ample amount of fear but this all clears up when we get a plan. That's it. If you're watching this thinking, oh, I really know I really want to do it, get a piece of paper out, write on here what you want to do, put timelines on it, and get your plan in place. That's it, really. If there's things that need to go, let them go. If there's habits that you've got, say, you know what? I realize this about myself. I'm growing through this. I release it, and I realize I will do better little by little. And that's it. These long ingrained habits or things we sell ourselves, they don't go away overnight. So chip away at this. It's a foundation. Like I say, it's not going to grow in a moment. You want it on solid ground, right? So there you go. I hope that I helped you in some way. I think this was a phenomenal reading. I think it was a phenomenal reading. I think you're excited and you should go for it. And if you need further clarification, we can work through this. But I see it sitting here. The Judgment card, and I'm telling you, I know you can't see it in here, but you've got something here that is calling you, and I know that you hear it. Okay? I know that you hear it. So there you go. I hope that I helped you in some way.